Periods. We learn about them in compulsory sex ed class and that's it. Thousands of Australian women get them each month and yet we hardly talk about them. More specifically, we don't talk about their environmental impacts. Pads and tampons contain massive amounts of plastic. To be specific, they contain up to 90% plastic. Each Australian woman in her lifetime will produce 5.3 kilograms of carbon dioxide emissions each year from using menstrual products alone. As a country, that's 18,000 metric tonnes per year. That's insane. Production of polyethylene and polypropylene not only releases carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, both of which are harmful chemicals for the environment, but they also take thousands of years to degrade. Studies estimate that one pad contains the plastic content of 4 plastic bags and can take up to 600 years to biodegrade. This plastic waste doesn't necessarily always end up in landfill, with 4.8 pieces of menstrual waste found for every 100 metres of beach cleaned. And if it doesn't end up in landfill or on our shorelines, it can enter our waterways and cause sea life to choke to death on it. The problem is, this isn't like other environmental problems where ceasing production is a solution. Women need hygienic menstrual products for their own health to minimise their risks of contracting urogenital tract infections, dermatitis, and genital sores. In fact, the durable nature of plastic products means that women tend to wear them for longer, leading to increased risk of bacterial growth, toxic shock syndrome, and dermatitis. So, what can we change? Reusable menstrual products have generated some stigma around them, with some women feeling it can be gross and disgusting to have to use a reusable product. Studies have found that many women don't know about the sustainable options available. Let's make one thing clear. Just because a product is sustainable doesn't mean it has to be reusable. We get that some women may prefer to have a single-use product, for which there are heaps of sustainable options out there. Many companies, such as the Organic Project and Natracare, sell products that are made of pure organic cotton or from other natural fibres, which are plant-based and eco-friendly. These work the same as regular pads and tampons, just more sustainable ingredients. Let's talk about the benefits of reusable products too. What if I told you that you were spending 50 times more on menstrual products than you could be? Yep, you heard that right. 50 times more. The average Australian woman spends between $120 and $200 a year purchasing pads and tampons. Given most women have their periods for 40 years, that's up to $8,000 spent on your period. The average menstrual cup costs around $40 and can last between 5 and 10 years, thus averaging a cost of between $4 and $8 a year. That means instead of spending up to $8,000 in your lifetime on your period, you could be spending only $160. That's a huge difference, and surely that's enough to convince you. Menstrual cups are small funnel-shaped feminine hygiene products made of medical silicone that are inserted into the vagina to collect period fluid. They are flexible and come in many shapes and sizes to suit your body and flow. They can easily be washed and reused. They can be a little bit difficult to use at first, but hey, practice makes perfect. If you would like more information, please see the link in our description. However, if you're still a bit nervous about using a menstrual cup, there are still other reusable, sustainable options. Period underwear look and feel just like regular underwear, with extra absorbency so you don't have to wear or use additional products. There are heaps of options for all shapes, sizes, and levels of absorbency. Or, if you'd prefer to be a little more conventional, reusable pads and tampons are on the market. They're used in the same way a regular pad or tampon would be applied, but can be washed and reused for years. We've included a wide variety of products because we understand that there are a wide variety of preferences amongst women. Please check out the links in the description for more information on the different available options, as well as details about the insertion, use, and cleaning of reusable products. However, not everyone is in a financial position to afford hygienic menstrual products at all, let alone sustainable ones. Menstruation isn't a choice, thus access to menstrual products should be a right. Prior to 2018, menstrual products were considered non-essential items and thus were subject to GST. In 2018, the Australian government removed the tampon tax on female menstrual products. But even this reduction in price doesn't necessarily increase access to all women, with many still facing period poverty. The New Zealand government recently announced that they would provide free pads and tampons for schoolgirls in an attempt to tackle period poverty, as many women are forced to stay home or use unsanitary substitutes due to the cost of pads and tampons. Last year, the Victorian government announced a similar policy, pledging to purchase 27 million period products for school students. In March this year, South Australia announced that they would be providing free feminine hygiene products for metropolitan and regional school students. We think that the Australian government should adopt a similar nationwide policy so that all Australian school students have access. We believe, however, that the government should selectively purchase only sustainable menstrual products, ones that are either reusable and can be washed or that are biodegradable. Major period product companies such as U by Kotex and Libra obviously want to make as much as possible by selling as many products as possible. With over 800,000 female high school students in Australia, having the Australian government as a customer is a pretty big sale. By exclusively purchasing only sustainable products, it will hopefully encourage those larger companies that currently occupy most of the market share to incorporate sustainable production practices. Companies that were once only competing for profit will now also have to compete for sustainability. Also, good habits form when you're younger. In the long term, giving younger women access to sustainable menstrual products will help them form eco-friendly menstrual habits from an early age, such that they will hopefully continue to use these products into the future. We acknowledge that schoolgirls are not the only ones to potentially face period poverty, and thus as a further expansion of this policy, we would like to see sustainable menstrual products purchased for organisations which help impoverished women, such as women's shelters and homeless shelters. All women from all backgrounds deserve equal access to hygienic menstrual products. We won't ask you to like or subscribe to this video, but we will ask that you sign the petition linked in the description below and share this video to create awareness in our community. Every signature counts. At the end of the day, we need to start ensuring both immediate and long-term change regarding menstrual waste management to ensure sustainable production whilst maintaining hygiene for all Australian women, because we can no longer afford to compromise either of them. Period.